Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Such a beautiful day. Let's hop right in and see what Spirit has for the collective, shall we? Collective energies, please, Spirit. Collective energies, please, Spirit. Collective energy. What is it that the collective needs to know at this time? Please and thank you, Spirit. The collective energy. In the central energy. Oh, come here, you. In the central energy, we've got the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Somebody's moody, disappointed, and jealous. Their minds racing. They got an overactive imagination right now, and they're behaving unpredictably. They're not to be trusted at this time. Challenged by the Wheel of Fortune. So it sounds like they wound up on the wrong side of the wheel. They're unpredictable. This wheel is unpredictable. It's an inevitable fate. In the subconscious, we've got the Eight of Swords in the reverse. So they could be disappointed in that they weren't able to stick negative thoughts into somebody. That somebody was able to release negative thoughts. That somebody was freed from this victim mentality because it came out in the reverse. They have been released from some restriction. In the recent past, we've got the Hermit here shining a light on things, checking it out, doing research, introspection, looking at the details, finding out what's really happening here. Intention and expectation. Excuse me. Intention and expectation. We've got the Six of Pentacles in the upright. A sharing of the wealth. There could be an inheritance. So there's been a light shined on this inheritance. In the near future, we've got the Two of Wands on the upright. There's a reconciliation. Somebody's making travel plans. This person who has been freed from whatever restriction and binding that this Knight of Cups in the reverse had part in. The lens that's being looked through. Somebody lost. Somebody did not gain a victory over this star. They didn't gain a victory over this star. They tried to bind the star. And the star was able to be freed, and this star is receiving a reconciliation, making plans, and moving away from all of this. In the environment, King of Swords in the upright, truth and clarity, honest, leadership, which is reliable, hopes and fears, sorry there, boy. Hopes and fears. We've got the Five of Swords in the reverse. So there is a hope to reconcile. Yeah, right. To forgive, to make amends. Yes, we caused you generation after generation. They may have attacked your family or whoever it is that you were born into, whatever bloodline you were born into. The outcome? The Chariot. You're gaining a victory over this and moving on. You're getting your inheritance. It's like the light is being shined on this inheritance. Whoever this Knight of Cups is stole it. And it's the turn of a cycle, and it didn't go well for them. Because whoever they took this inheritance from, they were able to be loosed from whatever bindings they had put on this person. They were able to be freed. This King of the Swords is here. And we've got a Nine of Cups, a wish come true. Yeah, they want to, and a Three of Cups, a celebration, and the Lovers. It's time for the real deal. Get away from these mutations which are pretending to be divine and move on to the real thing. So they're moody, they're disappointed, their imagination is running away with them, they're jealous. Thief in the reverse, they couldn't steal whatever it was that they were going for. They failed to steal. They failed to steal. They were not able to take whatever it was. And they were not able to steal the destiny of somebody. They were able to break free. They broke free from the restriction. They were not able to steal the destiny of this person. This star. They couldn't steal the destiny of the star. Knight of Cups, reversed, thief. Tried to steal the destiny of a star. Wow. Courtship. They're challenged because this star is going into a courtship. There is a courtship here that this star will be going into. They were not able to gain a victory over this star. The bindings fell off, or maybe the King of Swords cut them off. Wacka, wacka, wacka. Wacka, wacka, wacka. And the pathway is clear. Come on now, boy. What are you doing? Jiminy crickets. Hold on. Okay, so we've got... Where are we? So the bindings came off. Freedom What the heck we got going on here? I have no idea. He's pushing buttons. So you've got freedom here. Freedom right there by my finger. Freedom, and the pathway is clear. The pathway is open. This thief was not able to steal the pathway of this star. They're angry. They're angry. A light is being shined on this child's inheritance. And how it was being used. Oh my God. By somebody who's not the main male. So there is a reconciliation, there is a leaving home, there is a moving away from this. Poverty. Yeah, they're facing poverty. You're moving away, so they're facing poverty. Now this thief, they could not steal the pathway of this star. They did not gain a victory. They could not steal the house of this star, the body, the temple, the actual spiritual inheritance, the actual essence embodied by this star. They could not steal the temple of this star or any of the spiritual wealth that went with it. The star was just too strong, kept rejuvenating, kept renewing, kept living. And loving. Got a King of Swords here. He might be thinking about this person. Whoever this is in his thoughts. There's a Five of Swords reversed. So there's a desire to reconcile. Somebody's regretting what happened here. What they're really regretting is that they failed. That's all they're really regretting, is that they failed. They failed to steal somebody's high honor path. They failed to steal the high honor path of a star. This thief, this low down, good for nothing thief. You gained a victory over that excuse of a mutation of a human. And they're not a wealthy man. They don't get to be a wealthy man. This message of concern, it's a bad message of concern. They don't want to face it. They don't get to be a wealthy man. You gained a victory. All the toil and labor that they did put them in a coffin. That's what they're expecting now. All the toil and labor that they did trying to get the occupation of this privileged lady, trying to get the status and the pathway of this privileged lady, all it got them was a coffin. They're in the coffin. They're false people who wanted sudden wealth without earning it. They're satisfied with going through life pretending to be this or that. They don't care that they have no substance. Within them. And so once they lose all this wealth, once they lose attachment to this star and they no longer have access to the wealth and well-being of this person, they have nothing because they have nothing inside of them. They're an empty vessel. They're an empty vessel of envy and pain. I guess the vessel is full of envy, pain, and anger and jealousy, and that's all it is. Untrustworthy, unreliable. I'm beginning to think that there are actually human type vessels out there that actually inhabit demons, who don't have the ability to love, who don't have the ability to have empathy, who don't have the ability to be trustworthy, who don't have the ability to earn anything for themselves or to build anything by themselves. They lack. They're in complete lack. They are empty vessels. The only way they can move in this world is by attaching to themselves parasitically to a star or to somebody else. They're a parasite. And they operate on lust. They operate on lust. Yeah, they operate on lust. They think that lust, yeah, I wish you understood how I feel. They feel that lust is the deal. Lust is it. And they're disappointed because this courtship is coming together at the turn of this wheel. And it's not for them. They don't get it. There's a courtship here they couldn't take it. They couldn't steal it. They couldn't become this star. They couldn't steal the pathway of this star. This star was able to break their way free from the bindings, the restrictions, whatever it was that they put on them. This thief. They were unsuccessful. And there's a new chapter. There's a new chapter for love. There's a new chapter for love and courtship. You for me and me for you. Two for tea and tea for two. Two. The power of two coming together in a new chapter. They were not able to steal that pathway and pretend their way into wholesomeness. Yeah. They were trying to be you. They were trying to be, but they were just a mere reflection of you. And once they lost access to your energy, they couldn't pull it off at all. You survived. You were able to break the bindings and get free, and they no longer had access to your energy, so they couldn't pull off this reflection anymore. The light has been shined. You are seen as innocent. You are the child. You are the one who belongs to this inheritance, not this person who isn't the main male, this false person, this actor, thief. Yeah, they made mistakes. They made mistakes. And you know why they made mistakes? Because you are actually irreplaceable. They can't be you. They can pretend, all right, but they can't be you. That inheritance belongs to this child, and they are not you. They're facing poverty. And you're going away. You're leaving. You're moving into a new house. You're leaving. They could not gain a victory over you. Yeah, they weren't reciprocal. They didn't share the wealth with anybody at all. They're very selfish people who caused poverty for many, and now they get to experience the reward for their labor. What did they do what did they put out into the world? What was their main motive? Well, their main motive was to take the wealth, to steal the wealth. And so now it looks to me like this thief is no longer a thief. It looks to me like this thief is going to be in poverty because their wealth is being taken from them. It's an unexpected outcome. They didn't gain a victory over this star. They did not gain the house. Their dreams did not come true. They're disappointed. The star rose from the grave. This Christed being rose from the grave. They broke their shackles. They broke their bindings of their spirit, their body, their mind. They reversed that stuff and they rose and they renewed themselves and they healed themselves and they shined. It's obvious who belongs in the house. It's obvious who belongs to this inheritance. It's obvious who the innocent child is, the shining one. You got this King of Swords here. He's thinking about somebody. He's got a particular person in his thoughts. He's a leader. It's too late to take any action. That we're out of time. Like time. It's too late to take any action. We're done. Its cycle is over. The star is entering the house. The thief's dreams have shattered. Now they want you to forgive them. They want to make amends because they're getting cut out. And it's like, they want to make amends with this high honor person. They want to reconcile with this person that they tried to destroy. This person whose life force essence they decided that they were going to absorb and pretend to be. Now they want to be your friend. But it's only because they want to continue to be in your energy and wear it like a freaking cloak and then get some warped idea that somehow they are you or related to you somehow. Gossip. They're no longer able to gossip about you. You're high honor. Everybody knows that the gossip, the rumors, and everything that they had spread about you are false. You're high honor. You gained a victory here. And there's a bad message of concern for this man who is no longer a wealthy man. He wasn't able to steal the vitality and the essence, the life force gift that the Most High bestowed upon this star. Missed opportunity. There are secrets. Not everything is known. They were chasing around, holding back. They were in their ego, coming for somebody who loved themselves. And now they're getting detached from this person who has an inseparable union from somebody with somebody else despite the distance. And it could be that this was a dramatic setup. It could be that this was a dramatic setup with an unexpected outcome for those who are guilty of neglecting love. The truth is revealed about third parties and the way that they damaged destinies. They're confused because they sabotaged themselves and they're in regret. They had no idea that they were being tested and that this reunion is going to happen. It was going to happen no matter what. Their values are seen. They're all about money. And there is an understanding as to who they are, as to what their character is. This feels to me like it was a dramatic setup by the Most High. It's almost like this is the testing grounds. You know, people come here to be tested. It's like, what is your core? Who are you really? Will you go and cause harm to others with evil intent thinking you're going to benefit. I mean, this is the grounds to where everybody is tested. And I think that, some people forgot, maybe, or some people were programmed to forget by others who are here. Maybe they've been living for thousands of years. Maybe they are in robotic bodies, AI bodies that bleed and breathe and appear so real, And they've been alive for thousands of years, and they think they're gods. But the fact is that they're only actors. They're dead. They're actually dead, and they're only actors. They're dead because they have no star within them. And they can't survive without the star. They're houseless without the star. They have no wealth without the star. They have no honor without the star. They need to dress themselves in the cloak of the star in order to appear as though they have value. We've got Doctor in reverse. It could be that no matter what they do, the doctor won't be able to help them. There's chemistry here. They've been using sex. So it could be that they've got an incurable disease. And they're challenged because this person, whoever this star is, they're entering a new chapter and a new relationship. They are free from the bindings of this individual. And it's the turning of the wheel and a new chapter, a new relationship, a new scenario. This is over. Boom! Shakalaka. They were wanting to steal your pathway. They're angry. They're angry that you, they're angry and in despair that you gained your freedom. And that that they aren't you. They're angry and in despair that they're not you. They're in despair that they're not you. It's like these guys have been cut off, and the only way that they can feel alive is if they can trap and ensnare and wear as a cloak the energy and essence of a star. They need to sacrifice the star in order to have vitality of any kind because they're dead. They have no connection to source. They have no connection to life. They're the living dead. Frivolity. Yeah, you got a new chapter here with a new relationship. Excuse me, not relationship. These third party situations, they call their stuff relationship. Okay, you've got a new chapter with a partnership. And this isn't just some, let's go out and, spank the snake or whatever, This is a courtship between two people, and it's going to be fun. This is the frivolity card. It's going to be fun. This is the turning of the wheel. You're going to get a whole new experience. This person, a doctor can't help them. They're in despair. You gained your freedom. You were freed from the bounds, from the binding. You have been released from the yoke of whatever this is. Pleasure seekers. You've been released from the yoke of dead pleasure seekers who like to wear the energy and essence of stars. The Hermit is here shining a light on this child, on this innocence, on this purity, seen as irreplaceable, and the true owner of this prosperity. Somebody here is not the main male, and they made a lot of mistakes, and they're facing poverty. They didn't share the wealth. That inheritance doesn't belong to a selfish mofo. It belongs to an innocent child who shares and cares. Yeah, this came out again. Look at this. They're all up in their thoughts. They didn't get the fortune. They couldn't steal the fortune away from this innocent person, this innocent star, this innocent being who carries the source of light itself within them, life itself within them. They couldn't steal the light from this star, which is the fortune. Now they're all up in their thoughts. This star is irreplaceable. They're the true, the abundance, the generosity, the wealth comes from this person, comes from this star. This fraud, this living, walking dead person who wanted to dress themselves up in the essence of this star, they're not irreplaceable at all. They're just like walking around dead, stealing life force essence from... That's what they're doing. They're the living dead stealing life force essence, because without it, they don't appear alive and they don't seem alive. And they use this spiritual inheritance and they flaunt the wealth in the faces of the people on the televisions and everywhere while they're dressing on their three-piece suits and sailing on their boats, flying in their planes, living in their mansions. They're dead. They're not even alive. Messenger. I guess I'm telling the message. So whoever this star is being reconciled. They are seen to be who they are. This fraud. They were only daydreaming. Their daydreams did not come true. They did not gain a victory over this star. This star is obviously this child who belongs to this inheritance, not this thief. This thief didn't share anything, doesn't share anything, and they're receiving poverty. This star is being reconciled. They're going to be leaving whatever situation they're in right now, which could be terrible. They're leaving. They're being reconciled into, like, they're seen to be who they are. Like the Most High, I believe, is here and finding out who the actors are and who are not. And this person is just a reflection. They're even a bad reflection. I mean, look at this. One is a star and one's a mere reflection of a star. And if they've been cut off from your energy, they can't even pretend to be you anymore. They're in despair because they're a bunch of pleasure seekers who require your essence and your spiritual fortune in order to get by in the world. If they don't have any wealth, then they're living dead and they're poor. They are the zombies. They are the zombies. This star here, they hid a letter. They tried to hide a letter. Or they did hide a letter. Or they're not getting a letter. They're not getting an invitation. And then we've got faithfulness here. You're receiving a reconciliation. You are recognized. You have attained your goals. You persevered through this. You attended your inner fortune. You cleaned it up. You shined it bright. It was very apparent who is the innocent person here, who the light source is. And you're faithful. You're faithful and true. You're not this scumbag who so desperately wants to be you. prison in the reverse. They couldn't put you in prison. They couldn't hold you in some spiritual bondage. You broke out of prison. And you're entering the house. You got this King of Swords here who's got a particular woman in his thoughts. It's time. It's too late to take any action. Oh, these all popped out in the reverse. So you got melancholy in the reverse. So happy times. You've got consolation in the reverse. Somebody's inconsolable. Oh, a dark priest. A dark priest is inconsolable because, come here, you. The dark priest is inconsolable because you're not sad. Can you see that? Priest in the reverse. Unconsolable. Consolation in the reverse. And what is that other one? Melancholy in the reverse. So this dark priest is unconsolable because you're happy. And it's too late to take any action. He's all thinking about you. He's like, damn it! And it's like, yeah, you can't do anything about it. Surprise! Oh, something went on in a room. They did something in a room that they don't want people gossiping about. They did something in a room of a high honor person or room. They wanted to get revenge on somebody. They did something in a room, or they tried, the room could be the mind, so they tried to mess with the mind of somebody, and they want to be forgiven because they're in regret for trying to seek this revenge. People are gossiping. And they're talking what they did to this, the misfortune that they brought to this high honor person, and that is bouncing back on them now. It's bouncing back on them now. And now it's like, oh, well, let's reconcile. And it's like, wait a minute. 5, 10, 20. How many years was this high honor person's life in a misfortune while they had, living high on the hog? And now that they're without, they're like, oh, well, let's just make up. And it's like, excuse me. No, there's a moving on. There's a moving away. There's a going away. This wealthy man didn't get the wealth. He didn't get the wealth. He lost his opportunity. He got a bad message. And yeah, he missed his opportunity. Friend. He wants to be friends. He could have been a friend. He could have been a friend that deliberately decided to strategically, premeditatively try to destroy somebody for their life force essence so they could wear it like a cloak and pretend that they're alive. This old woman who's a thief, she's sick now. She's not wearing your energy. She's an enemy. She's making her journey. This old woman who is a thief is suffering a malady. She's your enemy, and she's making her journey soon. So this sweetheart is constant and just sighing. It's like, oh, when is this going to be over? Oh my goodness. But now there's going to be coming a time for joy. because this false person is receiving a surprise. This scholar who is a soldier, ooh, death. Ooh. Ooh, let's pull some of these cards. Haven't pulled this card for a while. So you got this thief here who a doctor can't help. They were using sex to gain wealth or whatever. They're overactive, they're disappointed, they're untrustworthy, unreliable, unpredictable. They've been with many flames, or maybe they've put out many flames, or maybe they've worn the life force essence of many stars during their zombie inhabitation over this planet, walking the earth in their little AI body or whatever, pretending to be alive, wearing the life force essence of stars that they were able to bind and trap into lower realms. But this star was able to free themselves. They're starting a new chapter, one of joy, and there's going to be a courtship here. It's the turning of the wheel. This is destiny. Destiny. Escape. They want to escape. They can't escape. Their body doesn't have any energy of its own. They can't die because they're already dead. Love is an emotional escape. Wow. That's wild, man. Why am I getting this? This is intense. I'm feeling all like, some of these people who say, I've been alive for 5,000 years. Well, they're not lying, man. It's not a freaking joke. They're telling you the truth. These pleasure seekers are in despair because they couldn't be you. They can't reflect you. They can't be you. They're a mere reflection, and they're a very, very poor reflection. You've gained your freedom with this Eight of Swords in the reverse. You've gained your freedom, and your pathway is open. And these ones, they couldn't take it. They're in despair. They want to blow their brains out, but it's not going to do any good because they're already dead. I don't know what you do with them. I mean, they're in a body. It could be that they stole a star's actual body, or that they just stole the essence of the body. I don't know, but you got flighty. So there's a not knowing what is going to happen next. So there's a lot of anxiety going on right now. A lot of jumping. Like the energy could be very chaotic. Like people don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what to expect. All they know is that they didn't get the pathway of the star. They didn't win a victory. Their dream did not come true. They could not imprison you. And it's proven. And by this hermit shining the light on, it's absolutely, the truth is seen. You are the child that belongs to this inheritance. You are the irreplaceable one. You're not this mirror reflection who has to wear the energy and essence of others. You are the real one. You're irreplaceable. This person, they can't get out of their thoughts because they weren't able to steal your fortune, your essence. And they're not seen as you. See, they were tempted, and their life is a struggle because they were tempted by the snake a long time ago. and they got disconnected, and now just being is a struggle because they require the energy and the essence of this star. That's why all those beings go missing every year, that just disappear. They get wiped off the freaking planet, and nobody, it's like, oh well, nobody knows what happened to them. Oh, I wonder. Their essence is food for the dead who are walking around pretending to be alive. I don't know, people out there can see auras and stuff, and you can see that some people emit light and some people just don't. So they feel crushed about these games. They made mistakes. They're not the main male. They feel crushed. This is chess. They lost the game. They feel crushed about this game. They lost the game. They're not the main male. They made mistakes. They got the message. This actual star is this child. This faithful child who will be reconciled. And by reconciled, see, at the end of the cycle, it's like those who are alive versus those who are dead, right? Those who are wearing the essence of the child that has disappeared, the children or whatever, who is walking around shining brightly. It's like, okay, well, does this light come from you, or is it a cloak? I mean, this is what is the actual investigation is about. Who is who? I mean, for real. Who's wearing the light of another, and who actually produces the light within themselves? I mean, that's the gist of it. Who's a liar? Who's telling the truth? Yeah, this is ending. It's over. The dead. This is over. They're pretending it's not ending, but it's time to let go of. It says and make a fresh start, but I just don't know that that's going to be possible. Except for maybe the actual star, and those who have the light within them. I guess that's why in the Bible it says talk about keeping your lamps lit. I think the lamp is the soul, it's the essence, it's the seed, it's that star within thee, It's like, did you nurture your seed? Did you grow it? Did you water it? Did you allow it to break free from its casing and shoot up out from the soil and reach for the sky and that sun called life? Did you do that? Well, these ones can't because they don't have a seed. They gave up their seed, so they no longer have a seed. So they need to dress themselves up with the seed of others. They're like, oh yeah, this is my seed. It's like, no, that's not your seed, though. That's not your seed. That's not your light. That's not your light. We can sit here and we can shine bright. We can shine bright for hours. Okay, you stick one who's got the light within them, and you stick one who's got it on as a cloak, and then you shine it up. You burn that light until the cloak, it burns itself out, and the one who's wearing the light is still shining bright because it's coming forth from within them. So they were not able to gain a victory over this star. They're a mere reflection. They're in despair. They were pleasure seeking. They were not able to put this star in prison. The star is moving forth into a house. The star is not lost. The star is not tired. The star is moving into this house. They are not imprisoned. King of Swords here. disciplined and truthful. You got this other person with this woman, a woman in their thoughts, or maybe this King of Swords has a woman in their thoughts. But you got a dark priest here who is unconsolable because whoever he's thinking about here is not in melancholy. She's not sad. So he's inconsolable. He's inconsolable because this woman is not sad. And it's too late to take any action. That's wild. Now, I don't know if this King of Swords could be this fella that's got this woman in his head. I don't know. I mean, it could be. But if it were, I would think that he would be in the reverse. So it could just be that there's a King of Swords here who's interested in this feminine, who is not in melancholy, who has been through this ringer. Because she's high honor. They can no longer access her mind, her room, her space, her where she is, where she resides, where she spends her time. And they want they want forgiveness. They're in regret over this revenge because they're suffering a misfortune. It's like the house could be on fire. I don't know. I mean, it could be a serious misfortune. They came after this person who is of high honor, and it's not ending well for them. Conquest. Yeah. It was all about sex and conquest and getting the light. It's like, how many people can you get to fall in love with you and then knife them and wear their energy, take their happy right off of them and put it on like a nice coat. Pretend I'm high honor. I'm happy. Yeah. So there's a victory of love. Love gains a victory. Whoever this is, they missed their opportunity. They could not be the star. Whoever it is, too, is a friend. It's a friend who tried to do this to you. They got a bad message, or maybe they hid a message. They're not a wealthy man, or they're not going to be a wealthy man. Now they're set adrift. Like maybe they don't even have a home now. They have no landing place. They're adrift. They have no home. Okay, so here's what it is. So these people who are in AI bodies that live and breathe and die or bleed like regular human bodies. They're synthetics, right? And there's all kinds. There's some of them are AI and some of them are just clones, right? So they're the living dead. They bleed and stuff, but they don't have the essence, the energy within them. So they need to feed on it. They look at the stars as though they are a commodity. They are a food source. They are a life source. And so they take that life and they wear it for themselves. And they put this star in a real shady place. Okay? Let's just say that. Things are going to get real hard. Everything's in pieces and you're leaving. This is ending. It's going to be a long road and it's going to be fierce. They're seeking an exit plan. Yeah, you have the spark of life. You are life, and these walking dead need that in order to live. So they take the spiritual inheritance and then they get their mansions and their positions of authority, and then they tell all the stars that they must work, 9 to 5 and all this stuff, and then they keep them super busy so they don't ever realize that they're actually being harvested. They're worried because they couldn't cause a failure for this star. They couldn't cause a failure for this star. And it could have been in the form of anything. It could have been an accident. It could have been a heart failure. It could have been high blood pressure. It could have been a stroke. It could have been any kind of a thing that they could have got you to fail. Something to take that spark out of you. But it didn't work. It didn't work out. And you got your freedom. And you're entering into a new chapter. An actual real live courtship with a real live person. And this is the turn of destiny. You were able to escape this. Yeah, these ones, they have no empathy. They're not able to see both sides of a situation. And maybe you no longer have empathy for this. Now that you know who they are and what they did. And the fact that they need your life force in order to feel alive. Because they're simply not. They're just not alive. So now that you know, you don't have to have empathy for somebody because they're dead. Now that is to say, now let me go ahead and tell you my thought process on this regarding the dead. Okay. So you have the dead, right? There are relatives and our ancestors who are on the other side and perhaps who are waiting to be rebirthed and to go through into the ancestry cycle and to relearn and do all this and to contribute and make changes and all that. And then you have the dead here who are actually in human suits or whatever, and they're walking around and they look alive, but they're not. Okay, they are vampires, basically, vampiring the life force essence out of the atmosphere and whatever life form they can connect with. Energy harvesting. Love. You are love, dear. Love, the pathway of love is open. The pathway of love has gained its freedom. Woo-hoo! Baby! Pathway of love is open. It's gained its freedom. Oh, how exciting. And this reflection is in despair. Oh yeah, this pleasure seeker is this pleasure seeker doesn't know what to do. They're full of anxiety right now. They're like, I don't know what to do. They might have energy, but do they have energy really? I mean, whose energy is it? I mean, because they don't have a star within them. So it's whatever energy they're connected to, I don't know. It could be that dark energy that comes to swallow people up. And it is, the many of us have been attacked by in our solar plexus for decades. It's that dark energy that comes and tries to swallow you up so that this other joker can be your copycat, wearing a portion of your essence while whatever this darker energy is sucks up the rest of it. Yeah, you're not guilty. They tried to paint you as though you were this guilty, horrible person, but they were laying their own essence and characteristics on you and saying, see, but they knew exactly what to point at because it came from them. And it's really obvious that when you put the two side by side and you say, shine on, you crazy diamond, and then the one fizzles and the one continues to shine, it's pretty obvious that the C belongs to the one who is tempted, the one who is not irreplaceable. The irreplaceable one is the one who has this star quality within them and regenerates it and regenerates it and regenerates it and comes back after trauma, comes back after getting crushed, comes back after having games played with them, comes back and then gains freedom and breaks bindings and transmutes trauma and pain and turns it into this bright stuff that is just vibrant, right? They're blaming you. They're crushed because their games didn't work and they're blaming you because you persevered. You persevered, and therefore their ending is your fault. Their ending of the glory. Yes, because you chose you. You chose to wear your own essence, and you chose not to let somebody else take it. It's like, no, I will wear my own essence. Thank you. Get off me. Peace, baby. Peace. You're faithful. You're faithful. You're peaceful. You're moving on. Making plans for the future. You are reconciled and whole. They did not gain a victory over you. They did not gain an achievement. Their daydreams did not come true. You are not lost. You are not tired. And you are not in prison. You are a star with a spiritual fortune, renewed and rejuvenated. And you're moving into the house. This house, a position within the house. Now, this could be the Most High's house. You know, in the Heavenly Father's house, there is a room or whatever for you. I don't even know the exactly way that goes. I just know that Heavenly Father has a space and a place for all of his people. And you're moving into the house, star. You have been discovered. You have been discovered, darling. Yeah, they could not steal your abundance. They could not. You are a limitless being and can manifest whatever you desire in the physical reality. They simply don't have that, and they were not able to take that from you. They don't have that. They can't manifest whatever they desire in this world. They don't have the spark. They don't have the light. They can't generate and create. They have nothing to create from. All they can do is take that and then mutate it into something a little darker that pleases them and their agenda more. Honesty. Honesty. All right, so you got a King of Swords here who's honest and truthful. He's here in the environment. He sees this woman here, and she's not in melancholy. She's happy. She could also be honest. There's also this loser here who's all up in his thoughts, this dark priest, and he's unconsolable because he ran out of time. And he's in a super duper misfortune, like everything's on fire. Everything's on fire. He tried to conquest. He tried to get a conquest over this star, and it didn't work. He's being denied. He's denied a victory. They're in misfortune. He or she. Please do whatever you need to do with the genders. They're in a misfortune while you gain a victory. This person could have been your friend. And they missed their opportunity. They wanted wealth off of you, and they missed their opportunity, so they're not a wealthy man. Message of concern is in the reverse. They don't like whatever this message is. They are adrift. They are adrift. They don't have a home. They don't have anywhere to land. You've got humor here. Looking on the lighter side of life. And you've got doubt. So whoever brought you adversity is now feeling a lot of doubt because you're happy. And you've accepted the things you cannot change, and so do they need to. They're stuck in their imagination in some fantasy world, and they're in regret, and they're envious of you. Everything happens in divine order, and there is change afoot. Relationships are people who serve the higher good. That's what relationship is about. Serving the higher good, not stealing, causing harm, hurting, causing misfortune for others. You know, it serves the higher good for all. And they're going to have to surrender their need to control this. They're in grief. They're in grief. There's a bunch of friends here who feel good when they can help others. So I feel that the collective really in the unseen throughout the multiverse, I really do believe, that there are many species of bipeds and others, who could be winged or whatever, who could be an animal form or whatever. They're all our family, and they're spread throughout the many regions within the many realms and layers of all of the systems within this multiverse, right? Planetary and otherwise. And so all of these are part of the collective. And, the Most High has members of the family within all layers and regions, within all realms and dimensions of all of these spaces and places. And it's just weird to me how those who have been going around causing misfortune for others don't understand that within all spaces and places of these areas, family is faithful family. So it's wild that no matter how many times or how often this rebellion happens, it always fails because family is everywhere, and it is what it is. This spiral called life, we start somewhere and then we continuously spiral up and then go up, right, in a spiral. It's never a closing circle. You do have the alpha and the omega, but it's not a closed loop. At least that's my perception, unless you're stuck in a matrix. Unless you're stuck in a freaking matrix. Adventure. Oh. They couldn't make you fail. Look at you. You reached the top of that mountain. You freaking rose through the mire and you broke those bonds. And it could be that you had help from your family throughout this multiverse. They all saw you shining and they commanded every power at their disposal that you be healed. So thank them for taking notice of you and your brilliance. Because they recognize the value of love. They recognize the gift that you share. And they've cleared this pathway for you. And those who have been feasting on you are in despair. Because you're taking your good attitude, you're taking your love, you're taking your generosity, and you're going to share it with those people who actually reciprocate. Oh, yeah, man. They fell into a trap. They set a trap for you and they fell into it. These pleasure seekers. There's evidence of everything they did. And everything they attempted. They're in despair. You aren't guilty. You're this innocent child. That inheritance belonged to you. Spiritual inheritance or otherwise. This is your seed. This is your gift that has been planted inside of you by the Most High. It is the essence, the star, the light that you watered, that you nurtured into being, into greatness. And they wanted to wear it like a coat. They're struggling. They were tempted. They did not get your fortune. They're stuck in their thoughts. You triumphed. You triumphed. Huh. You broke the bondage. You, your family, throughout the multiverse, whatever beings that you recognize and pray to or associate with, They saw your value. They recognized your value. They claimed you. They're like, oh, no, you're not there, buddy. No, you're not going to put out this flame, my boy, because this flame is irreplaceable. And this flame persevered. Ooh, they're in a nightmare. They're in a nightmare, and they're blaming you for their failure, for their misfortune. They got the message. They're crushed that these games failed. They're in a nightmare. They're not the main male. They made mistakes. This is ending. They're not getting an invite. They're in poverty. They don't reciprocate anything except they don't reciprocate anything. They take the wealth and the life force essence out of the people, the animals, and the planet itself. Everything. And then they dump a whole bunch of shit onto people and then make them wear it. But, because they're, well, when you're dead, I imagine, things start to rot and stuff. And then you gotta, what is it? You gotta slough off the dead skin and you gotta make somebody else wear it, right? While they take your light and wear it. There's a vow here. There's a vow. You have been seen as faithful. You are a being of love. You release negative energy. You are peaceful. And you have been reconciled. You are in the book of the living. And these dead, they could not steal your abundance. They could not steal your vitality. They've been discredited. Their dreams did not come true. You are not lost, you are not tired, and you are no longer in prison. You are moving into the house, the big house. The big house. You are a star. Renewed, rejuvenated. And these third wheel enemies can no longer bully you. They can't tap in. They can't mess with your life. They can't siphon off of you. They can't F you up in any way whatsoever. They got to leave you alone. These third wheel enemies can't bully you anymore. They're embarrassed. And they can't embarrass you anymore. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. The truth is revealed. So you got a King of Swords here who knows the truth. You are seen as honest and truthful. You're not in melancholy. Their ritual to cause you homelessness failed. They couldn't make you homeless. You're not in melancholy. They tried one last time to make you homeless, and it didn't work. And homeless meaning they tried to take your temple. They tried to take your temple. And their ritual failed. This dark priest is unconsolable. They can't get you out of their mind. They ran out of time. It's too late to take any action. Strategy, mind reading, mind games, tapping in with technologies and magic and whatever else they can do to disrupt the field of consciousness. In the room of your mind, the mental body. They want to reconcile. Please forgive me. People don't even care. People don't even want to talk about it. Nobody wants to gossip about it, and nobody wants to talk to this person anymore. They're suffering misfortune. Their house could be on fire. Like everything's falling and crumbling down around them. They were denied.